Caitlin Clark's progression answers questions about how she would handle the transition to the WNBA. NDIANAPOLIS AP Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA amid a myriad of questions about how she would handle the transition to pro basketball. 3 months into her professional career, the answer seems clear: better than expected. It may have taken a little longer than Clark or the Indiana Fever would have liked, but she is having a record-setting rookie season and crafting a new image along the way. The No. 1 draft pick entered the league out of Iowa, known for her record-breaking NCAA scoring and particularly those long three-pointers. Now, she has assist records. "I've always been able to see something happen before it happens," Clark said recently after the Fever defeated Phoenix and completed their first season sweep of any team since 2020. "I think Kelsey Mitchell can tell now when I want her to go back door, when I want her to cut off the ball, or anything like that. It's that chemistry you get when you're used to playing with one another." After stumbling out of the gate, the Fever opened this season with 9 games in 16 days, losing 8 of them with Clark scrambling to learn the playbook and how to fit in. Her turnovers outnumbered her assists, and there were more questions than answers as frustration appeared to creep into the mix. Since then, Indiana has rebounded by going 12.7, solidifying its playoff position, and all the angst has been replaced by smiles and high fives. It's not by happenstance. A compressed schedule between the end of Clark's college season and the start of the WNBA season didn't give Indiana much time to practice or for the players to learn one another's nuances. So during the month-long Olympic break, Coach Chris Isaias changed the practice routine and challenged Clark. There were a lot of times during drills where they were running certain offenses and I would tell Clark, and only her, so she would have to tell the players what we're running or where to go, Side said. "I would throw some things out there, some sets we hadn't run, so she'd have to think it through and put people in the right position." Clark has responded, and her teammates seem to be taking the cue too. In their first 2 games since the break, Indiana looked impressive in wins against Phoenix and Seattle. The Fever outscored the Storm 33-17 over the final 10 minutes. Mitchell is 11 of 21 on threes and has 55 points since the restart, while Lexa Hull had a season-high 22 points and went 6 of 7 on threes in her last game. Forward Aaliyah Boston, the 2023 Rookie of the Year, also had 9 assists against the Storm after outplaying Olympic gold medalist Brittany Griner last Friday. Indiana plays at Minnesota on Saturday. "You have to adjust," Mitchell said, describing the learning process with Clark. "She had to transition as a pro, and we had to give her what she needs, be a resource, and fill those gaps in. She's one of those players where her basketball IQ is going to take us a lot of places, so you've got to figure out where you fit in, knowing how to read and adjust off of her." Since Clark's dubious record-setting 10 turnover debut, her assist-to-turnover ratio has jumped from 1.23 to 1 in May and June to 2.19 to 1 in 8 games since July 1. Records seem to fall each week. She broke the WNBA's single-season rookie mark for assists Sunday, reaching 232 and ending Tisha Penicuro's 26-year run as the record holder. In her final game before the break, Clark broke the league's single-game record with 19 assists, capping a run of 6 double-digit assist games in a 7-game span. If Clark continues to average 8.3 assists per game, she could shatter Alyssa Thomas' single-season record of 316 set last season. She needs 8 threes to break Ryan Howard's rookie record of 85 set in 2022, and with 22 threes over the final 12 games, she would be the 7th WNBA player with 100 in the season. Her performance hasn't quelled the social media controversies, the banter over how she's treated by opponents, or whether she should have led the U.S. Olympic team. And she continues to be a huge fan favorite. The Fever lead the league in both home attendance, 16,956, and road attendance, 15,306. Clark is still must-see TV too. The game Friday night on ION drew 1.21 million, nearly 3 times as many viewers as the Connecticut-Dallas game on the same network that night. The Fever game Sunday on ABC drew 2.23 million viewers, a sharp uptick from 2 games in a rare CBS broadcast on Saturday. New York, Las Vegas attracted 874,000 viewers, while Minnesota, Washington had 577,000. Only Washington and Dallas have fewer wins than Indiana, 13-15 of the teams televised last weekend.